your time here. What did you think of it? I mean, how do you walk away from here feeling about your time with the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I think came in and, got a lot of opportunity to show, I guess, an offensive side that maybe, wasn't given an opportunity for before. And I feel like I kind of just took it and ran with it. Had a lot of chemistry with the guys I was playing. Really liked, the way we played, the way the D kind of moved the puck up the ice really quick, the transition game, the way guys look for each other. So felt like that, was a really, really good fit and, able to, still impact the game on special teams and face-offs and all that kind of stuff. So, from my perspective, went really well and really grateful to both Drew and Turk for the opportunity.
How do you, I know it's less than 48 hours since you guys lost, but where's your mindset on this now for your off season? Do you want to go to the market? Do you want to see what your value is? Or do you say, I want to be back here, let's negotiate with her? Like, where are you at with this right now?
Honestly, I mean, it's been such, pretty much, since the trade deadline, I told my agent, go kick rocks. I'm not talking to you for, not talking to you for a while, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard right now because the wound is still so fresh, and my first thoughts are about how I can get better as a player and what I need to do this summer, and all the things that go along with that in terms of working out, in terms of rest and recovery, in terms of injury prevention, in terms of nutrition, all those kinds of things. So I think that's really where my mind is focused, for right now. But over the next couple of weeks, just kind of continue to evaluate. And basically hear from Turk and Drew where they see, long term, and then go from there. Long term not only is, not just next year, but in, hopefully 4 or 5 years. How they see me in the room in terms of the leadership group and all those kinds of things. So a lot to take in, a lot to hear, and then just kind of make the best available decision. I'm not married to one thing or the other, but I definitely did enjoy my time here, and definitely feels like there's unfinished business, and definitely really like the group and the direction this team's going.
When you are traded at the trade deadline going into a year where you're going into unrestricted free agency, how much is it in the back of your mind of just knowing that you kind of are playing for your next contract?
Honestly, once the trade happened, I didn't really think about it too much. It was all before the trade, and wondering a lot more about that, and with sign and trade possibilities, there's I'd say that was more of the mentally overwhelming part. As soon as I got here, kind of was able to put that in the back of my mind and just worry about winning. That was just at the forefront, and with the team that we had, it was. Felt like it was a real possibility to go all the way. So as soon as the trade happened, I think that was really an easy way to put it behind. And with how bought in this group was, there's really no choice but to be fully bought in.
Was there something that you feel like this team needs to get over that last little hump, or do you feel like this is?
I mean, teams can always get better. Even Tampa winning the Cup twice, they're still looking for ways to get better. So there's always room for improvement. There's always, not only in terms of acquisitions, but just in terms of each individual player of steps that we each need to continue to make in our own games, and then bring that to the team next year. So I don't know if there's one thing in particular. I'm sure Drew and Turk will have their ideas about what this team needs, but it is a young team, and everyone should be taking a step in the next few months to be ready to go in October and kind of be a force to reckon with for the next few years.
Do you have a preference of center or wing? Like, what when you tell people I play, you say I play center, or you say I play wing?
I guess I'd say I play forward right now, but usually I prefer center, and I like being in the rhythm of playing at center. The only time that it gets harder is when you play 35 straight games at wing, and then you play center for one night and then back to wing. So that's when it gets tougher. But again, part of the job and part of what I feel like I do well is the versatility and all those types of things and the hockey IQ of it. So that's perfect scenario center, but you know, I had absolutely no complaints with where I was playing and playing with two great players. So, not married to one or the other, but preferably center.
How fun was this ride to take with being back with Trouba?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. We've won a lot of hockey games together, so it was fun to kind of get in that groove again, and you know, that belief in each other and just that mentality of, you know, no matter what the score is, it's just we feel like we're gonna win the game, you know, no matter what. So I feel like we kind of feed off each other in that aspect, and you saw the impact that he had in the playoffs, which was huge, and just has that mentality of, you know, I don't really care what the outside noise says or whatever. I'm just gonna do my thing, and you know, it's usually worked out for him. So yeah, I think it was pretty fun.
When you see other fan bases, let's say, saying some pretty harsh things about him because of the impact he had, I imagine that's nothing new. A, and B, what do you think?
Yeah, that's nothing new. He was getting yelled at when we were 12 years old for taking guys' heads off. So I mean, kind of another day in the life for him. I feel like it's, whether it was that or whether it's, you know, U17 challenge, getting booed in Winnipeg, and then playing in Winnipeg and the contract hold out and get booed again. So you think he's been through it all. I think he's pretty good about, you know, wiping that to the side and just playing.
When you talk about evaluating the situation and opportunity that you got here, the center versus wing stuff, like, how much will that factor into the decision that you make this summer? You know, whether you'll be told at least that you'll play center or wing, whether you might have a top six opportunity. Like, is that stuff going to be important to you in that decision? I
don't know if the position itself is going to be really important. I mean, it's honestly, it's just how I you know, fit in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, if you're going to a team that has 3 elite centers, but, you know, then you might be a top line wing, it's like you're not really gonna say, like, that's not gonna deter. That's gonna be like, oh no, I want to play center. So yeah, like I said, like, I don't have one specific criteria in mind or anything like that. It's gonna be you know, just kind of taking everything in about the situation, where the team's going, you know, the special teams, the coach, you know, the systems, you know, everything comes into play. Not to mention, like, city, way of life, all those kinds of things. So a lot to take in, a lot to kind of blend together to try and make the best decision. But I wouldn't say that position itself or position in the lineup is, you know, have to have these things. You know, it's very much kind of a blend of everything that's going to be ultimately the determining factor.
I remember Coach Gallant said when you came in that the situation worked well for you because you were going to get a lot more minutes than you probably did in Winnipeg. Is that something that'll factor into your decision, wanting to get more minutes, more important minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I got a lot more offensive minutes here. In Winnipeg, it was 20 minutes of shutdown and PK, but yeah, I mean, that's, you want to play as much as possible. So, but by that token, you don't want to be. I don't want to play for, you know, a team where it's like I'm playing 25 minutes a night, but we're 0-82. So, like I said, the blend of all those things in terms of minutes, usage, you know, leadership position, all those kinds of things. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, what Drew has to say, and then ultimately what everyone else has to say in terms of how it all fits together.